Fueled by C4, Cellucor, and Extend. Use the code Clydesdale to get 20% off at checkout at c4energy.com. On Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the widest array of content here on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notifier so you're the first to know when new episodes are available. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I'm the Clydesdale. I am so honored and privileged to have with us the women of Believe, Shelby Jones and Lauren Olson. What's going on, guys?
Not a lot. Just hanging out. How are you?
I am fantabulous. So what I love about Sundays is that, and it started kind of with Fee a couple weeks ago, is it's Clydesdale coffee and conversation right here on the channel.
You have your coffee? Dang it.
Oh, I
So-
don't have mine. Yeah, I'm underwater.
So the pressure with it, this is podcaster pressure. Sundays are my pour over day. And so the pour over was taking much longer than normal this morning. And I'm like, come on already. I got a show to do. Let's go.
Go. That's funny. That's
So
fancy.
if that's the worst part of my day, then I'm doing pretty well.
Heck yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
I used
So
to have a pour.
well, it's funny because I never did a pour over until Pasadena.
Oh yeah. Oh really? So it's new.
Really?
It's a
Oh,
new
Yeah,
tradition.
and so what's crazy is our hotel was not geared to have coffee very well. So Jamie and I had to adapt, and we got cone filters, a couple paper cups, and made like a MacGyver pour over system so we could at least have
Nice.
coffee. And then I loved it so much, I got home and bought a kit like immediately.
Well, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It definitely takes a lot longer though.
Does
For
it
sure.
taste
It
better?
does.
I don't think I've ever.
I put creamer in my coffee, so I don't know.
Like what's
So-
the difference?
So to me, it takes the bitterness out of the coffee almost completely, and it's
Oh.
super smooth.
Oh, you just drink it straight, like a man.
New to all this stuff. And I used to use a lot of creamer. Now I'm just like a touch of creamer, but I like
Mhm.
oat milk creamer the best.
Oh yeah. That sounds good. Is that what you use?
I don't even know what I use. I know the brand. I don't even know the brand. I'm not picky.
Whatever's on sale.
Yeah.
So the pressure for you today is that Fee did this thing where we did Sunday conversations with coffee, and I didn't use my notes at all. Like Fee just kept talking, and we just kept going back and forth. So now it's a tradition, and you guys are the ones that have to keep it going.
Let's do it. I like it.
Lauren can talk.
I'm the talker of
She's
the.
the talker of the group.
of the
for
duo.
Sure.
We've already got some people in the chat, and I know one is a big friend of yours, Lauren, and it's
Hey
Lex.
Lex. What's
Look at
up?
those dogs.
I know. That's how we bonded. Was our doodles.
Oh,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So last time I had Lauren on, because I've known her for a couple years, and it was so cool seeing you guys make the game. So I needed to have her on, and now I get to know Shelby, which Shelby Jones is a very, very common name on the internet.
Yes, it is.
So trying to discern which is you and which is not an easy task.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of like photo comparisons, trying to figure it out. But one thing I find I want to get right into, because you use creamer in your coffee, you don't even know which kind, yet you're a coach for M2.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, that sounds bad. Whoops. Leave that part out. No. Yeah.
So I love Mike Malloy. How did you get hooked up with M2?
Instagram, actually. I started kind of coaching for myself back in, I want to say like 2018, I think, is when I started coaching CrossFit full time. And then I just kind of took on a couple of nutrition clients, and then was doing my own thing until 2020. And I actually was like, I didn't really like the back end stuff of nutrition, like content. I'm not very good at like content creation, and it just used to stress me out a lot. So I was like, I just want to coach people. Like I had to spend so much time. I'm not very creative. So I had to spend so much time thinking of content that it was taking away from my drive to like actually coach. So I started following M2 just randomly. I started liking their stuff, and I sent him a message and was like, hey, I know this is a long shot, but I've been coaching people for a couple of years and I really like what you guys put out. And if you ever need anybody, let me know. And then I think it was that same day, within like an hour, he's like, hey, can you chat on the phone?
That's awesome.
Like, yeah. So we talked on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I'd love to bring you on as like a, trial basis and kind of see how it goes. And it's been, that was 2020. So it worked out well. So yeah, Instagram of all things.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was crazy.
So when I talked to him last, he was developing a curriculum. Did you ever have to go through that, or did you just get mentored by him? Because he probably didn't have that done in 2020.
No, he didn't. So we do a science hour every week, which is awesome. So it's like we're all over the country, but we Zoom call, and he actually will go over a lot of that stuff in his science hour with us. And then, so when he got that curriculum done, I actually ended up taking some of the courses, like I think the hormone course and the gut biology one. The practical nutrition, we went through all that stuff together on our science hours. So he didn't require me to take them, but I did, because just with a little bit of knowledge that he would give us in an hour a week, I'm like, okay, this is worth my time. So I ended up taking some of the classes myself.
That's so cool. He is so freaking smart.
It's insane. He can just rattle off like literally any question we have. I feel like he just rattles off like a half an hour's worth of knowledge or info about it. It's wild.
With the curriculum, does he sell that? Like, or is that just for the coaches?
No, he sells it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have a few friends who have taken it.
Yeah.
Just like the hormone course, which you might actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it comes out like a couple times a year. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's really valuable. I like it a lot.
He was pretty close to the end of it when we talked to him, but it hadn't been released yet. And really no other nutrition company has taken the time to put together a curriculum like this. And it's pretty amazing what he's pulled off.
He really, really likes teaching, and he's really good at it. But yeah, he started putting out, it's called the Inside Scoop. It's like a subscription. You get access to this website that has a ton of articles that update every month and videos, and he'll go through even like stuff as simple as like how much protein you should have into like supplements, and that's only, I think it's like $10 a month or something. So that's his latest thing that he's put on. That's really cool. That's what he likes.
So the thing that really blows my mind is he can remember everybody's name that he's ever met.
Oh,
yeah,
and like I'll bump into him at the games and he remembers my name. And I had him on the show one time, and it blows. And then people would walk by and he called everybody by name. So it wasn't just me. It was just unreal.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's really cool.
So as the nutrition expert on the team, do you yell at your teammates about what they put in their mouths, or do you slap their hand if they pick up something wrong? Or
only Hayden when he decides to fuel his entire semifinal with a big bag of, what was it, gummy bears?
Yeah.
Or was it Sour Patch Kids or something like that?
No, it wasn't Sour. I can't remember if it was gummy bears or gummy worms. But
I don't know.
Whole, huge bag.
Like big bag.
He's like, I got my carbs in.
Yeah, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Short-term fix, buddy.
Yeah. Other than that, everyone's pretty solid with what they're eating.
When we went to Blue City with Taylor and Matt, they were like, guys, nutrition. Like, you have to eat more than just gummy bears and gummy worms. And Hayden was like, but it worked last time. I felt great.
We're like, that is geared towards you, buddy.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, you've recently posted on Instagram a pretty big transformational story. How much of that was nutrition? How much of that was workout?
I think nutrition was a huge part of it. Someone, my old teammate DM'd me and he's like, what do you think changed like the most? And I said, 100% upping my calories. I was really underfed and I had no idea. And so we just kept playing with the numbers until I hit that sweet spot. But I mean, of course, my training has increased, like, the volume, my intensity in workouts. So it's really hard to say, but I truly feel like it's when we bumped my calories up and then I'm just hitting it way more consistently. Mike, is that your boss?
Mhm.
So he had shared that post that was like, this is what 70-30 looks like. This is what 80-20 looks like, or 90-10 or something.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that used to be me. And this is me now. And that's why, I've seen such really good gains.
So you think you're at 90-20 now?
I would say
90-10.
90-10. I do.
My math is terrible on a Sunday.
Yeah. And it is easier knowing like, hey, we have the games coming up. So I really don't feel like the discipline is just easy right now. I don't feel the cravings or yes. And we love weekend donuts. We were just talking about food this morning. We went to Josh's wedding yesterday. And it's just funny because people are like, you can eat bread?
Is this your cheat day?
You can have 3 pieces of cake. Is this your cheat day? And I was like, I eat donuts every weekend. I just don't eat
That's it.
out.
Yeah.
I don't eat. It's just like that's what I incorporate in my day is that donut. And I'm satisfied.
I think that for me, like if you guys don't know, I've been doing a weight loss journey for a long time, and I have my own nutrition coach. And the hardest thing for me was to wrap around those misnomers, right? Like you can have bread.
Yeah.
You you need carbs to make it.
Mhm.
And I've been on 2 weight loss journeys. The first time, no carbs, no dairy, no nothing. And I lost a butt ton of weight, but I was tired all the time. I was getting miserable. And this time I'm losing it slower, but it's more sustainable.
Yeah.
And I can incorporate all those things that I love into my diet. Like I love ice cream.
Yeah.
Like and if I don't get ice cream once a week, I'm probably going to be miserable.
Yeah. And then or if you put it off so long, then you eat everything. You eat the whole carton of ice cream instead of just a couple scoops. But yeah, she's a big ice cream lover.
I like
every
ice
week.
Every Wednesday night. Actually, I did not have it this week.
Yeah. You get 2,
but we had cake. So.
You get 2 ice creams now. I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
So are those like your deal breakers? Like ice cream is the one thing you won't give up and donuts are the one thing you won't give up? Or do you have something else that's like a deal breaker in your nutrition?
I don't think I have deal breakers.
No, I could go without ice cream. It's just been really hot here and it's kind of a fun treat to take my kiddo to.
Yeah.
But I've honestly never really even been that big in ice cream. I don't know why all of a sudden I like it. But no, I could do without it. I like cereal.
Oh,
I couldn't do without cereal.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me.
Wow. I love cereal too. My deal breaker is that my wife hates to cook on Fridays. Like it's the end of the work week.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to do anything. And so we go out to eat and have a date night every Friday night.
Love it.
And that is like the deal breaker that saves my marriage. And, and that's the time I pick to like, if I'm going to have something small, that's a treat, it doesn't come back into my house.
Yeah. Gotta have some fun foods. Yeah. That's what I call them. Like, I don't call them like treats or anything like that. It's just like something that breaks up the monotony of the week of right now, like beef and rice for us.
Yeah.
It's boring after a while.
I think that's what I miss the most right now is like the whim date nights. Like we're just a big food family. And so especially like the fall, for instance, there's like festivals and just all these fun foods that come around during the holidays. And so I do miss that the most. Hey, Teddy.
Hey,
See, he's your kind of guy.
He is my kind of guy. Cereal and ice
cream. Cereal and ice cream. Sometimes together.
Together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out. So there's an ice cream place here in Columbus that they serve cereal milk ice cream.
Oh, that I could get behind, I think.
Wait, like it's the flavor?
So, like at the end of your bowl of cereal, the milk has all the flavor of the cereal.
Best part.
Yeah, they use that milk to make the ice cream.
Like different flavors? So like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal?
Right. Or Fruity Pebbles or
like Crunch. The chocolate ones, like Cocoa Pebbles.
Oreo O's.
Yes.
You remember those?
Oh, that's a cereal?
Have you heard of those?
Yes.
Yes, they're like little, I don't know, they probably taste like poop. I mean, I haven't had it since I was a child, but it was really good as a kid.
You're doing real good on selling that cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch on top of vanilla ice cream.
All right. I guess after the games, that's what's happening.
She means after this interview.
Yeah, right. Actually have Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
There's some good ice cream places in Madison. From someone that would know.
Yeah. I've been saying for like months that after the games, I just want a big milkshake that has like a whole piece of cake on top of it. You know, like the obnoxious ones that are just so big and they have like 3 or 4. Like I'll never finish it. I'll get like 2 bites in and be like, yeah, I'm full. Yeah. But I just want to have it.
I told Alan, like, after the games, I want to get so sick on food. Like, I just want to complain the whole drive home about how
he's gonna love
sick I am because I've eaten so much. I like food.
So like after semis, you guys had an emotional weekend where the ups and downs and all over the thing, and then you make it, and all of that just kind of floods out. Mm-hmm. Did you go celebrate with food, drink, whatever?
Yeah, we went to In-N-Out. Yeah. We actually had some friends who Venmo'd us. And so I think we got like $200.
Yeah. Our In-N-Out fund was huge.
And so they're like, go get In-N-Out. And I think Josh and Hayden, they got lots of burgers.
We walked in and what was the big burger? Like the one that when you order it, they're like, what are you doing? They got like 2 of them.
These teenage kids were just tickled. They were like big old Josh.
They're like, are you sure?
I'd like 4 of these. And he's like, okay.
Wow. I think that was is it like I've never been there, but I've heard like the double.
Maybe
was that what it was? I don't know. It was massive. And Josh can eat fast. I think he ate it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. For time.
Yeah.
Kenneth the Lap says 200 goes a long way at In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Like I remember like we would sit down, we'd eat, and then it'd be like, hey, can I have your card? I'm going to go up and get this. And like, hey, I'm going to go back and get this. And then we finished it with milkshakes. And
yeah,
it was pretty good. I feel like In-N-Out's like a once.
Yeah. It wasn't like
I'm okay with.
Yeah.
So Carolyn comes back, cheese curds and ice cream post games.
Also, we have to have curds.
Yeah.
Cheese curds.
I've been thinking about cheese curds a lot. I feel like I've brought it up quite a bit.
That butterless.
Josh, at his wedding yesterday, it was like a fancy plate of like balls of butter. Hayden and I both were like,
fancy plate of balls at a wedding. Wait.
You don't like fancy balls on the plate? Sorry. Anyways, they look like cheese, but they were butter. So don't pop it in your mouth because it's not cheese.
It's not, in fact, not cheese.
Not a cheese ball.
Do we know from experience?
No, I didn't throw one in my mouth. Hayden may have.
I don't know.
He also thought it was cheese.
He did.
Yeah.
So Josh is your teammate.
Yes.
And you allowed him to have a wedding in between semis and the games?
Oh, right? I think it was a good break, actually. I think it reminded everybody of like family and what's really important, and I think it was a good break. We had a good time. It was fun.
I probably shouldn't, but I have to show this comment. I can do without fancy balls.
Who would have thought that, Lex?
So yeah. Yeah. See, these are the Sunday morning conversations I love.
I love it.
Yeah. So let's talk about semis. I talked about it with Lauren a little bit, but it was really a roller coaster weekend for you guys.
Say the least.
You came in seeded as a top 10 team, meaning you were seeded to go to the games. So what kind of expectations did you guys have coming in?
I knew that we could make it. I was very nervous because I knew that it wouldn't be like a for sure thing, but I think we all had we all knew that it was definitely a possibility. So there were a lot of nerves around it for sure. But it was a cool feeling knowing that, like, okay, if we just do what we need to do and do what we can do, we're going to be fine. So
It's kind of both. Like, it was, yes, there was some pressure to be like, hey, top 10 teams, like, we got to work really hard to do this. But it was also, it made training a lot more fun after quarterfinals. And it's like, holy cow, we could truly make a shot at this. So
yeah, it was a surprise for sure.
It was like when the blind leaderboard came live and I'm like, is this real?
Yeah.
Did we really play 7th?
Yeah, it was cool.
And so I just thought it was way more fun training up until semifinals of like, hey, we have a shot, so let's put in the work.
Yeah, it almost took a little bit of the pressure off, actually. Like, it would be one thing if we qualified, like, I mean, not that anything from qualifiers means anything really, but I think it would have been different if we would have qualified lower and been like, crap, like, we really got to do some work to get there. I think it kind of just gave us a little bit of confidence in what we were doing and knowing that we had a good chance.
I can't even imagine the nerves going into, because it's not like it's a done deal. You're going to the games, right?
Not at all.
And you guys were surprised you finished that high in quarters. My nerves were like at peak because I'd never met Lauren before.
Yeah.
And like I was going to meet her for the first time, and like my nerves were through the roof, and I wasn't even competing.
That's awesome.
That is cool. I'm glad you guys got to meet.
I know, that was fun. I think it was after the first event when we were walking back into the athletes' place, right?
Yeah, well, true. We kind of like caught each other's eye while you were competing, but you were kind of busy.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was right behind you at the start mat.
On the second workout too, I do remember running back to tag Shelby in, and I was like, there's Scott. Hello. Fangirling, I know. I'm like, hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I was fanboying too, so it's all good.
Ah, how fun.
So you start the weekend off. I look at your finishes, and I can't, like, it's meh. Then it's great. Then it's meh. Then it's great.
And then it just kept
another great. And then like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. It was
so you start with the 16th. So for right out of the gate, you're out of the top 10.
Yeah.
But then you come back with a 7th. So you're probably back around the 10, maybe in the top 10.
Or like 11th or something like that. Yeah.
And then a next to last finish.
Mm-hmm. But not our worst one.
I know. Turns out. Could go worse.
Things could get worse.
So walk me through the conversations that are going on off the floor. Like, are you hugging each other? Are you yelling at each other? Are you like, what's going on in those moments?
Both.
Yeah. Well, I actually, like, I'm not really a crier, and
we have enough.
Lauren.
Okay.
I started bawling after the third event because we knew after our first event, we were like, okay, 16th isn't good. It's not terrible, but like, that'll just be our worst one.
We thought it would be our worst.
No big deal. So then when we did not finish the other one, the third event, I was just like, crap. Like the points are starting to get away from us. So I just couldn't help. I just started bawling afterwards. Mm-hmm. And Hayden, he's so big. I just like fell into him and was like, I don't even care if this makes you uncomfortable. You're just going to hold me. But then we actually felt like more calm than I really expected.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just kind of knew that it was like,
bye Teddy. Have a good day.
Yeah.
You know, Teddy's our videographer for the games.
We love Teddy.
Teddy's so awesome.
He's cool.
I watched his podcast the other day. It was great. He is. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt really fast. One of your viewers was like, Teddy is just energy.
Oh, he is.
He is. I was watching his interview and I'm like, I'm pumped up. Let's go.
It's hard not to smile the second he walks in anywhere.
I know. I agree.
Yeah.
Teddy's great. He's a good dude.
And if people don't know, like Teddy is a monster. Like he's 6'2".
Yeah.
Big boy.
Like you would never know that.
Yeah.
He's just, which makes him great for the pits because he can get up over top everybody.
Oh yeah, true.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's great. Anyway,
So
sorry.
now back to the crying and the bawling after event
Yeah.
3.
I agree though, like
Yeah.
a strange calmness the whole weekend. I mean, I don't know how to explain that, but that's really what it was.
Well, we were lucky enough to know, it felt like every time there was an event, like event 3, we knew was not going to be our best event. Lauren and I was really worried about the dumbbell bench press. And then we were both like, we had done the pirouettes fine, but they wasn't something that we were like overly confident with.
Mhm.
And, but we always knew that the next event was going to be a good one for us. So like we knew like based on training, we knew the muscle up thruster event was going to be good. So it kind of like shook off any bad feelings from the other event. What?
So you said you weren't confident with the pirouettes. I've seen video footage of you on your hands.
She's very good.
So either you have gotten really good in the last 4 weeks.
No, I got hit. This is not the reason why I didn't do great. I got a really, really tough no rep, and it wasn't a full effort rep. And so that kind of like got into my head a little bit.
Mhm.
And then I had to redo it again and again. And it wasn't executed perfectly by my part by any means, but that no rep I think that's why I cried, because I was just like,
Yeah.
dang, like that was a solid probably 45 to 60 seconds just with that. So.
And it was nothing that we could appeal, right? 'Cause
No.
it was a no rep. So.
No, I mean, it was what it was. The judge made the call, but yeah, it wasn't. And again, it wasn't like I executed perfectly as it was. So that paired with me not executing like I know I can was like, dang, that hurts.
So that's the wild thing about the semifinal. The semifinal workouts is they had these like built-in bottlenecks.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Where if you had one mess up, like you're stuck there.
Yeah.
And it made like it compounded that one mistake so severely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure I totally dig that way of programming.
Puts a lot of pressure on for sure.
Yeah, it just and we're going to hit that again on event 6 as well, where that bottleneck comes back to bite you again. But let's talk about the good part of the weekend, right? You come off of event 3, you're kind of you're devastated. Lauren has this calm about her.
Yeah, it was very
eerie calm.
My part was not great, so it's funny that I'm like, I mean, I did what I could.
I think it was more like I was upset because I knew that out of the two of us, I'm the better one on my hands. And if I'm the one who messed up, like it doesn't leave room for like I needed to kind of make up time. Right. And we didn't have any room for error. And then I messed up. So it was kind of like, it wasn't a great
So I was going to move on, but I'm not now because so you're doing this as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'm on a team, I push to a level that I never, ever get to when I'm going individual. Would you have had the same reaction had you been competing individually and had the same mess up? Nope.
No, it's very different. I don't want to say I'm okay letting myself down, but like you said, team just pushes you to a whole different level. And this whole season actually has just brought us, it made us realize what we could do when we push ourselves to that next level. So yeah, I don't think I would have been as upset by myself. But knowing that I let 3 other people down and I didn't do my job was a little bit like, that's hard. That's tough.
Yeah, I've only ever thrown up 8 times in CrossFit, and every one of them has been on a team. Everyone.
Mm.
Yeah, I
think you told me that last time, just the anxiety and how you push yourself that hard too. And
I think the first time we worked out, I threw up.
She did.
Yeah, one of my co-hosts, Amy, I remember we had to do a wall ball workout, and they had to be synchro, and I'm trying to keep up with her, right? She's
I know what that feels
like. She's like a fitness level 8, and I'm like a fitness level 3, and I'm trying to keep up. And I did, so maybe I am fitter than I think I am at times, but I like literally ran out the back door and just lost everything.
Oh,
It reminds me of in St. Louis, just trying to keep up with Hayden and Josh. Like, we're fit,
story
but
of our lives.
fit, and so we ran at their running pace for one round, and then I'm like, slow down, please. I can't even burpee.
I can't even fall on the ground.
I don't know
at this pace.
Too hard.
So let's take a pause from semifinals. How do you guys come together? Like, you have these two guys that now you're trying to keep up with. Shelby, you weren't even at CrossFit Believe last year.
No.
You were on another team.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how does it all come together this year on this amazing team that makes it to the games?
It was wild how it all happened. Well, so my husband is in the Air Force. So we knew when I was in Idaho last year, we knew we were leaving. And I think we came here in July to visit.
It's our 1 year Facebook
1 year
anniversary friendship. So about a year ago, they came to visit. Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. We're very happy.
I'm sorry I didn't bring a gift.
That's all right. You are the gifts.
Yeah, I love it. You are. That's true.
Oh, wow. It's getting deep in here.
So we came to visit in July, and then I actually sent Lauren a message because I again, Instagram is the best, and I was looking at gyms in the area. That's how I always scope out where we're gonna buy a house. And there was only one here, and she posts on social media a lot, obviously. So I was like, oh, she's good, she's fit, and I love, like, I'm from Michigan. They do a ton of local competitions, and they're just so fun. And Idaho had like none. Like, I think I did one out of like 3 years. So I sent her a message and was like, hey, does Missouri have like local competitions that we could do? She's like, yes, they do.
Like every weekend.
So when we moved here in September, we had already talked about competing. Was that HOA?
Yeah, Teddy was telling me about Heart of America on his interview, and that was the competition. I was like, hey, we need a girl.
Yeah. I was not ready.
Like, just creep in your Instagram. Are you interested?
Yeah. Well, so we had gone to semifinals the year before, but that was in June, and then the season was over. And then after that, I was like, okay, off season, cool. Like, I'll work out when I want to. I'll eat kind of
ice cream, cereal, all that stuff.
Cereal, that's right. So when I got here, it was like, I think the day after we moved, we trained for HOA, and that was the day that I threw up because A, I was not in shape. B, the humidity here was insane. Idaho is very, very dry. So I get here and I'm like, I can't breathe. The air is so thick.
Y'all go run without me.
So
I'm gonna be back.
Their first impression of me, not yours because you saw me during that class workout, but the guy's first impression of me was like, hey, I can't do this. I'm gonna throw up. So it's like they were probably like, oh, good. So and then we just kind of started training together every day. And I think Alan had originally reached out to Josh. And it kind of all just fell together. It was cool.
Alan's the owner of our gym. And so for HOA, Alan had messaged Josh, who lives about almost 3 hours away from us. And so that's how we got the four of us together for HOA. So Shelby, me, Josh, and Alan. And then as the season approached, Alan decided that he would take the season off from competing. And so that opened up a window for another male, which is Hayden, who was our other male. And so that story's kind of fun because Hayden literally never worked out. Like, he would take a CrossFit class, like one CrossFit class a day. And then he was like, sure, I'll be on your team. And it's so good. It's just wild. It's like,
he's just a freak.
It's a freak. That's the best way to describe it. But Hayden is actually Josh's now
official stepson,
legal stepson. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a lot of piecing together.
He's like,
okay. So this marriage that happened last weekend.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday made your team a family.
Yeah.
Correct.
Officially. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So Josh married Hayden's mom. And so it's really fun to put that in our bio for the games.
Yeah. It's cool.
Like, Hayden worked out once a day and was like, CrossFit? Sure, I'll try it.
He took like a year off of CrossFit completely and then started going to classes and then was like, why not?
He's like, I just want to do some curls for a little bit. I just want to do some bicep curls for a little bit. So.
And
Does he ever stop and yell, "Stop yelling at me, Dad"? No.
No, they do make dad jokes though.
They do make dad jokes. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
You're not my dad. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Wow. So you come together. What's training like? Does Josh ever move closer, or do you guys just so really, if the rules hadn't changed this year, you wouldn't have this team.
Right. Yeah. We wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Nope. We had talked about it. The rules hadn't changed. Josh's sibling lives about 40 minutes from us. So he was like, if I need to, I could just live with my brother. So that was a possibility, but definitely, yeah. The rules was
Hayden lived out of his Jeep.
Hayden
so he
just
could go anywhere.
Hayden didn't have a permanent address. He's our hippie guy.
He's a little nomad.
Yeah. Gypsy.
But
Wow.
yeah.
So many parallels to other teams around the world. Like the guy that lives in a van, the guy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
cool.
a couple weeks.
Yep. He kind of just traveled in his Jeep and just trying to find his home.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to Believe for a week, and then he went to Kansas City for a week, and then he's like, well, I'll just go check out Blue City, and I think that's home. So he's been there since.
Yep.
And he's got an apartment, so it's like pretty official.
As official as it can be for Hayden, probably.
Wow. So that's how you guys have a connection with Blue City and Taylor and Matt and Teddy.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Is that Austin? I'm trying to remember names.
Hayden.
Hayden.
I was like, Austin, Texas?
No. Yeah. Hayden. Okay. Names are not my best suit.
It's okay.
I am the opposite of Mike Malloy. So anyway, so that's your connection, and that you've gone and trained with them, and they have games experience that they can help you with.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why you kind of go hang out there sometimes?
Yeah, I think after semifinals, our goal was like, hey, let's get out and go get people to watch us. We don't have an official coach, so we wanted to go to other gyms to train together. So each weekend we just kind of picked a different spot. And so one of those weekends was Blue City. And then she's in touch with Taylor every week, and Taylor kind of helps guide us with our training and what we, which piece to hit at what intensity.
Yeah.
So she's been really helpful with that.
They put on a day camp for us, and then had a lot of hey, at the games you'll see a lot of this. This is what the downtime is going to be like, and we don't have anybody who's ever been, so it was really helpful for them to do that for us.
Taylor's one of my favorite people in the world.
She's awesome.
Tell Shelby the story with Taylor. I heard it on your podcast the other day.
So the way I met Taylor was she is the first athlete I ever judged at a regional level.
Oh, nice.
And it was Regional Linda in 2018. And I was her deadlift judge. But what that meant was I was also her bench press spotter.
Okay.
And I saved her life about 8 times.
That's awesome.
And so whenever she sees me, she gives me a big hug. And I think it's because she knows I saved her life 8 times.
You're responsible for her breathing still.
And I said it on the show with Teddy, in my mind, she was killing the first part of that workout. And I'm like, I'm not going to have to do anything. I'm just going to have to stand here and watch her bench press. And then it went away, and it went away bad. And it was wild. And she almost qualified for the games that year, other than her terrible finish in that workout.
Dang it.
Yeah. But that's how we met. And then Blue City, actually, their podcast is on our platform.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, we're tight with them.
This was really my first interaction with them. We had met Taylor at that one competition that we did.
Yep, at a local Halloween throwdown.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Yeah.
But I had never really we met Matt at semifinals. They were both there.
Mm-hmm.
But just really good people. Really genuine humans.
So good.
Yeah.
So who's getting your coach's badge for the games?
Alan is.
Okay.
So we don't have like a technical coach, but because we train together every day, Alan is like our eyes on the daily.
Yeah, he helps you and I a lot, but because we don't train together as a team, but like once a week, it's kind of hard to have an official coach, But
and really, you guys just need a gopher, right? Like get your bags, get your food, get your water from place to place.
Yeah. Like down.
Yeah. Alan's he's really good at being calm. Like anything that we think is a big deal, he's like, you guys are fine. Like when we were kind of worried about like, okay, we're in a qualifying position. Like right before we left for semis, he's like, I already have my tickets booked to Madison. Like you guys are fine.
They booked their hotel. They, like Alan and a group of people, had booked their hotel before we even left for California.
It was almost a close call
for Madison. And I was like, no pressure. Okay.
Yeah. So he just brings a lot of calm to us, which is nice. Confidence.
So back to semifinals. You finished event 3 and you're in mini distress, but then did you know 4 and 5 were going to be that good?
Yeah. I think that's the main reason why there was some calm, is like because we knew we're good at hurting for the most part, and we knew that event 5 is like if you're strong or not, and we're all strong. But 4 was like, can you hurt? And we're all pretty decent on machines. Like especially these guys are huge, like they can crush a machine. So I just have to try to keep up. And we just knew that if we would be okay with hurting, we would do well in event 4. So we knew it was going to be a nice bounce back event for us. Yeah.
So you go from a 29th in 3 to a 4th in 4.
Yeah.
And then you follow that up with even a better performance on 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. It was like our good events started getting better, but our bad events started getting worse.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so hectic at semifinals for me, like trying to run and do everything I'm doing. And I'm trying to watch the leaderboard. And like every time I look, it's a whole different story. Like I'm looking like, oh my gosh, they're not going to make it. Then, they are going to make it. Wait, no, maybe not.
Yeah, well, we felt. Yeah.
So you go into the last event, like I think it was 8th or 7th, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We had a pretty decent cushion at that point.
And I'm like, oh, they're in. And this is going to be such a cool story. So I get approached, and I told this to Lauren. I don't know if you heard this.
Yeah, I watched it. Yes.
And I get approached, and I'm asked, who do you want to interview after this is over? And I'm like, I want to interview Believe. And the media guy from CrossFit's looking at me like, who?
Sounds about right.
The 30th place to you.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to interview Believe. And Jamie picked like Omnia or one of those to like, and so we're sitting there and event 6 is going off, and I'm at the finish line waiting for my opportunity to come out and interview you guys. And the wheels come off the bus, and I'm like, oh shit. Like,
I bet
there's one wheel that way and one this way, and we're.
And I'm like, what am I going to ask them if they don't make it? Like, how am I going to spin this?
Yikes. Happy it didn't happen that way.
I start tearing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to approach them that they just, the wheels came off and it all ended on that last event.
Don't do this anymore.
Pick a different team.
So you take a 30th place in that event.
Yep.
As bad as it can get, right? Like, or how many teams were there? 40 or 30?
I think there were 40?
40, maybe.
40 teams.
Okay. 40. So that's better than I thought it was. So you take a 30th, and Shelby, what's going through your head at that moment? I've gotten Lauren's impression of that moment.
When we finished, I thought for sure that we were done. I was like, there's no way. But to be honest, and not to be like cheesy, but my main concern was making sure that she was okay, because I know what that feels like to be like, crap, I just cost this. I just felt that in event 3, and she needed me to be calm more than she needed me to be like, well, we're done. That's not helpful. So I just kept telling her,
Just
like,
come hug me.
I know, I literally just went and fought, like, laid on her on the ground and was like, we're good. She's going to beat herself up in that moment more than anybody else. So, and I would have done the same had that been me. Like, it very easily could have been a role reversal. Like, I think you mentioned it was when we practiced it.
But just in general, like, it's so wild. When we practiced that event, we didn't know the details yet because the East hadn't went when we tested it. So we practiced it unpartitioned. So like, she had to do all of her push-ups before I did all of mine. And we still finished under the time cap. And so we're like, okay. And so when it got released that we could partition however we want, we're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're like, we're good.
Yeah, we got this. Like, skirt. No, you don't.
So was it the fatigue of the weekend
I have
that
no
you
idea.
didn't factor in, or
Had
I
to
have
have
no
been.
idea.
Had to be part
It
of it.
has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, handstand push-ups are just one of those things that's like, if she's going to almost failure on kipping,
Right.
then it's fatigue for
Yeah.
sure. Like, and my main concern during the event was just like, try to keep her calm.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, it is so easy to get frantic and be like, oh my God, I got to go now. But on a handstand push-up or like a rope climb, you can't go before you're ready. You just can't. Or else like you're waiting another minute because you went too soon. And so I was trying to like, okay, how can I keep the urgency there, but make sure that she doesn't go too soon?
Right.
So I was trying to like count her down a little bit, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't.
I don't feel like I get frantic. I'm almost like a too much rest. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
hey body, tell me when you're ready. You just let me know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no.
Yeah. So I think that's where I had to kind
we're
of
in
be
a competition.
Like, we're going.
Yeah.
Like, now is the time. And so I knew that was kind of my role in that moment.
Yeah.
Try to help keep her calm.
So how are the men reacting to this? And do you feel like you have to be a fence between her and the men in that moment?
For sure. I mean, it was hard because she could see them when she was on the wall. And I mean, Josh will say this too. He's like, yeah, I was freaking out. Like, Hayden and I were freaking out in the back. So I was trying, like, luckily she would turn around, she would look at me. And I think we have a relationship now where she knows like she can kind of look at me and I'm like, we're good. Like, we're fine. So I tried to like balance the two emotions. So
that's like, CrossFit just released that very short snippet. It was like less than 2 minutes long. And it just talks about like the CrossFit community. You're created and you can be angry at your teammates, but then at the end of it, it's like, but we're still there for a purpose. Like, we still are there with the same idea. And so it's like, no doubt my teammates were upset. No doubt I was upset too. But it took a while. Then it's just like, okay, what happened. Doesn't mean I didn't give my all.
Right.
I'm not going to go out there and not give my all. But like, I feel like shit. And then it is what it is. A learning moment. And
what I wanted to get at is, you guys seem to be so tight now, right?
Yeah.
Right. like, and you're both moms, and like Shelby had to be the mom in that moment.
Yeah.
To tell the dads to stay back.
Yeah.
Like we got this.
Yeah. I think Shelby, even when I was just carnage at the very end, she was like, hey, y'all should go hug Lauren.
Yeah.
I think Josh was like, nope, I'm not ready.
She needs some love. She needs to know that it's okay. And we still love her. We're still friends.
Yeah.
Like, go give her, because I know what I would want in that moment. I wouldn't want my team walking away from me. And so it was, everybody needed a second to be like, oh, okay, that just happened. But like after that, it's like, okay, we got to come together. Like, it's time. So
then your name gets announced that you made the CrossFit Games.
Yeah. It was wild.
And and I've gotten Lauren's reaction to this. Shelby, was it relief? Was it excitement? Was it both?
It was a lot, because I don't know if you caught this, but I had competed with Verdant, who was the 11th place team. And I had competed with 3 out of 4 of them. And like, one of the guys on the team is one of my best friends. So when I thought, like, I saw the cameras on us when they were announcing 9th place, and I was like, oh crap, like, we still have a chance. But then I looked up at the split screen and I saw us and Verdant, and I was like,
I literally did that.
Oh my God. Like, because I had talked with my friend Cullen on Verdant's team, and I was like, what if it comes down to you and us, and one of us goes and one of us doesn't? And we were joking. Like, we were joking. And then I saw that and I was like, are you kidding me? So of course I was relieved and I was excited, but like immediately after I started crying more for them because I was like, this was my worst case scenario and it happened and I just took their chance of going away and it was so close. For them, they were like, if anybody could beat us, we're happy it was you. But at the same time, I'm like, I was really happy and then I was really sad. Mm-hmm. So it was just a continual roller coaster.
We just have a couple minutes left. You're now training for the games. What did you learn in semifinals that you're attacking in these that you've been attacking in these last 4 weeks? And do you think that you've made significant improvement in those areas going into the games?
Yeah, I think we've worked a lot on skills, obviously like handstand push-ups. Mm-hmm. But I think for both of us, it's been more of like working on our sense of urgency because sometimes we'll be like, okay, like you said, we'll wait till we're ready. And it's like, we don't always have that opportunity. And at the games, especially, everyone moves so fast in transitions. Like you could lose a ton of points just with transitions alone. Mm-hmm. So really been trying to make sure that like, okay, when we get back from this run, we're going to jump right up on the bar, even if we only do 5 of whatever we're doing, like make sure that we have that sense of urgency. I think we've been working on that mainly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Skills is always something to work on too. But I think as the season has progressed, there's like minor overuse injuries. Mm-hmm. Like, so sometimes it does make it hard to work on like handstands for me whenever I have whatever's happening in my hand right now. And Matt at Blue Cities was like, make it to the start line. Like no injuries, make sure you at least make it to the start line in Madison. So I think nearing the end of this, it's just like, it's now just like, what can we get in?
Yeah. You're not really going to
hurt us.
Any fitter or any stronger at this point. So make sure you can get there.
Mm-hmm. And what I'm hearing is, Lauren, you've done a lot of local comps, but nothing like on the major level, like semifinals.
Never.
Shelby, you did Granite Games and then now this year, just the experience being out on the floor is going to help you guys moving forward.
Yeah.
It's very different for sure than in the daily training. Definitely.
Yeah. I think HOA is the biggest one I have done. And it's big, but it's not like semifinal big.
How crazy that like the first time you go to semifinals, you go to the games.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Be like a little person in Madison, like, what is happening?
Like there are people who go to regionals or semis for years and years and years. And like for you, the first time you go, for me, the second time I go, we get to go to the games. Like it's just wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So you guys are heading on Monday?
Yeah.
Yep. A week from tomorrow.
Yeah. Next Monday.
Whoop, whoop.
Crazy.
And what are you most excited for?
The locker room. We're excited for the whole the closed locker room experience.
Yeah, like walking in the opening ceremony, like taking when we're not competing because it's going to be like we really get to take it all in, and it's a once in a lifetime potentially thing. So, yeah, that's what we're excited.
Shelby's really excited for the 5K.
Can't wait.
Kids gonna be so great.
Love running. Love running when I'm a foot shorter than my team. It's great.
And there haven't been any details. Is it a rope run? You don't know?
Yeah, it is. We're gonna hold a rope. Yeah.
Just catch me dragging my legs on the ground.
All I picture is like 3 people running and Shelby just holding onto the rope.
They would probably
you just said to hold onto the rope.
Probably still run faster.
Well, it's kind of like you guys were the last one in from the West, so there's no pressure, right? It's just go have fun.
Yep.
And you're playing on house money now.
I know. That's the big thing that we've been talking about is like, yes, we obviously want to do well. We want to continue to work on everything that we've needed to work on. But mainly it's just like, make sure that we're remembering what we're doing. And like the fact that we're doing it at the CrossFit Games. Like we don't, like you said, we have nothing to lose now. We're likely not going to win the games. So I think it's just about making sure that we're making.
But you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. It's always a chance. So yeah, we're just making sure we're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, man, you guys are the best. We need to do this more often. Just Sunday morning conversations, because this is fun.
Yeah, we need some pour over coffee.
Yeah. We'll do
There
that.
you go. I want to thank you both for coming on. I can't wait to see you guys in Madison.
Yep.
Yes.
And we'll be out there cheering for you.
Yeah.
We'll get a real
With
picture.
that, what was that?
I said we can't wait to see you in Madison, and then we'll get a picture, like an actual picture this time.
Yeah, because I'll be able to like give you a hug instead of waiting for you to go to drug testing or something.
I can't touch you. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we're getting some great comments. Kenneth says, great show, awesome people.
Hi, Kenneth. Thanks for listening.
With that, thank you everybody to the chat. Thank you everybody for joining us on a lovely Sunday morning, and we'll catch you next time on the Clydesdale Media Podcast.